Welcome to Jesus God News. I'm Xanadu Santorum. The headlines: 1 million moms getting bigger. Education linked to starvation. And God smites Dawkins. Wholesome Family Group 1 Million Moms had a surprise boost to its number on Tuesday as founding member Reverend Bernard Hemorrhoid announced that a new application had been received from a surprising source. Speaking at a press conference, the 73-year-old former psychiatric patient said that, "At first I thought the phone was broken as it was making a loud ringing noise. I picked up the receiver and was stunned to hear the voice of the Virgin Mary saying she wanted to join up. I couldn't believe it. It just shows how much God hates adverts showing support for gay marriage." The news marks a significant turnaround in the fortunes of the group, which saw a downturn in membership last week when they began a boycott of oxygen after it was pointed out on Facebook that it was a homogeneous molecule. The announcement brings the total membership of 1 million moms to 18. New research from the Vatican Council of Science has isolated education as a major contributing factor to African famine. The VCS, which last year identified the causal link between condoms and HIV, made the announcement in the respected scientific journal Pronouncements on the Vatican on Matters Scientifical. Head of Science Martin Varuca said it was imperative that all secular meddling in African affairs ends now. There are very strong links between education and turning away from religion, and if there's one thing these poor wretches don't want to do during dry season is upset God. In support of the report, the Pope announced on Thursday the dedication of a new church and a budget increase of 4.7 million new prayers to be sent direct to the troubled region. Ever since its invention by Hitler in 1932, atheism has always had strong links to terrorism and communism, leading many to wonder why God hasn't intervened sooner to destroy them all. However, atheists were left terrified last night after Lawrence Krauss and openly scientific Richard Dawkins were smote during a debate on how best to cook children. A video surfaced online within hours which appeared to show the physicist being hit by lightning and exploding, causing Satan worshipper Dawkins, sat close by, to burst into flames also.
Explicitly demonstrated again in my country, there's a nut running for president called Rick Santorum. The United States, the vast majority of the public believe climate change is a hoax. All polls suggest that now because a tremendous amount of money has been spent on that.
But using Fox News.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But he's
Rupert
said
Murdoch.
Claims that the video had been faked were quickly dismissed by the release of a statement from independent witness Sister Mary Immaculata, who said that it definitely happened. Naturally, I stormed out in disgust as soon as the curtain came up, but I waited outside in order to give Dawkins a piece of my mind. After 4 hours standing in heavy rain, I watched as he came out running towards his car. It was clear that God had been very firm with him. Despite the pair being destroyed by God's fiery wrath, both have released statements denying the claims. Science news now, and a landmark judgment in the Supreme Court means that the sin theory of disease can finally now be taught alongside the controversial germ theory of disease in medical school. Students training as doctors will be able to choose sin theory in their second year. In order to increase take-up of the programme, the Church has announced that it will pay all university costs for students who choose what they are calling the traditional view of medicine. Professor Algernon Gusset said, "It's by no means a radical approach. We just focus on the cause rather than the symptom. The results are undeniable. I had a patient who had fallen from a ladder and received a femoral compound fracture. After a detailed investigation, I prescribed 5 Hail Marys for the sin of pride and a spoonful of snake oil linctus. This has reduced the chance of being rejected from heaven, which, as it turned out, was just what he needed since he succumbed to gangrene 2 weeks later." I'm Xanadu Santorum, and now you're up to date.